Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you all for joining me as usual on here. My name is Haley Barbs, aka Powerful Hippie. I am on Instagram at Powerful Hippie. I am on YouTube as well. If you're joining on Spotify, thank you. If not, I upload every time I have a podcast episode on Spotify. It's called The Powerful Pod because I'm Powerful Hippie. So that was like the joke. I used to be like Haley Sandy or something on Instagram, but I renamed myself Powerful Hippie because I used to compete in powerlifting. So I was a competitive powerlifter, and I'm really a hippie. Okay, I have 2 degrees in art. I garden. I do all the things. I am true and true hippie, but that's just a cutesy name. You can call me Haley Barbs too. And as a general reminder, if you are new here, I do have a discount code. Please use it if you can. Not only does it help you, it helps me, it helps support the show, but it does save you 20% off on all Redcon One supplements, apparel, and everything on their website, which is really cool. Right now they're running a sale too, where if you buy like creatine and you bundle with something else, you get like a free hat or t-shirt. They run all kinds of amazing sales. It's crazy. Sometimes they do buy one, get one free. So you can get $80 worth of protein for like $40. It's awesome. So use my discount code at checkout, Powerful Hippie. My favorite product, True and True, is the protein powder, the animal-based whole foods protein powder. It's called MRE Light. I just love it. It's so versatile. You can put it in smoothies, you can put it in yogurt bowls, oatmeal bowls, make protes. It's a lot of it is just I use it every day. I put it in my coffee. You can make iced coffee lattes with it instead of creamer, and then you get 20 grams of protein, and that will satiate you for a while. It can satiate me for like 3 hours, maybe 4 hours, so that means keep you full, and it's delicious. So yes, but also my second favorite product of theirs right now that I take, it's actually put it in here. It's their non-stimulant pre-workout. So if you work out at night, or you just kind of want something else to put in your water to help make you more hydrated and or a little bit more focused, but without like the jitters, the crash of caffeine and other stimulants, I like their non-stimulant double tap or non-stimulant pre-workout. I'll put all the links below. Double tap was the other one I was going to say, but that one does have caffeine in it. Unfortunately, that's a stimulant fat burner. But if you are looking for an extra fat burner, something to help burn more calories, double tap is great too. And they also have it in pills as well. So if you'd rather have like a capsule, that's cool too, man. But as it says in the description, or if you clicked on YouTube, today's episode is all about motivation, and not just for fitness, just for life. So I'm going to give you kind of a background and try to relate it to all things of life, because everybody goes through seasons of being unmotivated. And I think this is extremely timely for the time of year that we are in right now. You know, people might say we're at the end of the year, right? Because it's holiday season. So Thanksgiving's next week. Then we have Christmas or Hanukkah, and then New Year. And all these holidays kind of make you, not only do you get to have fun, sit with your family, but reflect on this past year. And for me, I'd say this past year just flew by. I did a lot of amazing things. I finally finished my master's degree. Got a dog. I'm really grateful. I'm practicing more gratitude, but it did fly by, and there was stuff that I wanted to do, especially, but I also got to go to Mexico. So I'm trying to be more grateful and practice gratitude, which can really help with motivation. But the end of the year motivation blues, right? You didn't accomplish everything that you wanted to, or you thought it flew by, or you didn't see as many friends or family or work goals or relationship, personal goals, whatever it may be, right? Motivation's hard because it's not always there, but it's something that you need in your life to help you accomplish whatever goals or situation you're in, or ideas, frameworks, all those things. And I have a lot of really great advice. I will say this is all personally, it's from anecdote, but I did do some research for this and I did put a tidbit of other people's ideas and ideologies in here. I'm not a psychiatrist, psychologist, mental health professional, nothing like that. I'm more so speaking from the framework as being a competitive powerlifter now transitioning into bodybuilding to see what that's like, but then also the more interesting background for me, I have degrees in education. So I was a teacher, now I'm a college professor and academic advisor. That is my full-time gig. So I will say I've been a student. I have two master's degrees. I've been a student for off and on for 10 years, finishing my bachelor's and my master's degrees. But then I've also had the privilege to help other students get to the end of their collegiate experience, degree, what have you, certifications, to move on to whatever their life goals are, their career goals, or just to have a finished degree. Because a lot of my students are working professionals, which means that they have taken like 10 years out of school, they graduated high school, they might have taken a few college classes, but they never finished their degree, or they wanted to get a certification, or they want to come back to school and transition, change their career pathway. So, being in college, just like starting a fitness journey, you have so many things to do to accomplish where you want to go. You might have a timeline in your head, but it probably won't go the way you want it to go. I say it's going to go like this, like up and down, bumpy kind of. If you can see it on YouTube, I'm doing like the hand, or if you cannot see it on YouTube, I'm doing the hand motions, right? But everyone wants the journey to be smooth and flat. For me, my health and fitness goals and journey has been like up and down, like a roller coaster. Same with collegiate, up and down. I never thought I was going to go back to school and get another master's degree, by the way, but I don't regret it. It was paid for predominantly because I used to work for another college and they had like an employee reimbursement program, so they paid for it. But I will say, whatever the reason why you're here listening to this today, I put a lot of time and effort into this, so I hope it helps you, or at least helps you kind of reframe your ideas. Right now, since we're at the end of the year, you might be making what I say are your New Year's resolutions, New Year's goals, right? Whatever that might be. Maybe your goal is to travel more, get in better shape, like put on more muscle mass, maybe lose some body fat. That's a big popular one, right? New year, new me. But let's make it realistic, y'all. I love you so much, but I've been training for my bodybuilding competition for almost 6 months and I'm still not there. And I've been in the gym for 10 years. So I will say always, always, always slow and steady wins the race when it comes to goals. So that's number one for me. But realistically, I'm going to give you tips right now. So I'm going to give you 6 different tips, key points with some stories, ideas, and things to keep in mind so that you don't get burned out, so that you don't quit, so that you do accomplish your goals. People think that myself, like they look at me, they might look at me on my Instagram or my LinkedIn, and they'll say, oh, she's so motivated all the time. She's so lucky. No, 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 no. No. I wish I was motivated all the time. That would make it so much easier, right? If I didn't follow my blueprint, because I have these 6 tips have helped me get through really tough times in my life when I didn't think I was going to finish my second master's degree, or even when I was in college the first time, if I didn't know if I was going to become a teacher, I didn't know what I was doing with my career. When I got stuck in a rut, if I didn't follow these practices, I may have given up. And I know everything happens for a reason. We can all sit there and say that, but you do feel a lot better when you accomplish whatever big goal you've set for yourself, or any little goals even. As long as you accomplish a goal, I promise on the other side, you will always feel better. You will never feel worse unless something traumatic happens, but that's pretty rare. So let's not go there, right? Now, my tip number 1 might sound cliche because you've heard it so many times, but I needed this reminder, especially right now where I am. I just kind of mentioned personally, I set this goal this year to become a competitive bodybuilder. So that means I want to compete, posing on stage like Mr. Arnold Schwarzenegger, little, bicep action on the stage. So that's my goal. And I have been in this bodybuilding goal phase for over 5 months, almost 6 months. I'm tired, but this past week I had to re-find my why, because when you set a goal, if you're getting down the path when you're like, why did I do this? Like, this is dumb. No, don't say that. You might feel like it's dumb right now because you're bored, tired, exhausted, burnt out, or you just don't have the passion anymore. But sit down, write down, or find your why. So find your reason for starting whatever journey you are on. Is it to improve your life? Is it to learn something new? Is it to get healthier? Is it to help your friends or your family? Finding your why is so important, and you have to remind yourself, even if you've been doing something for a long time. Write it down in a journal, in a planner. If you have a digital planner, something that you see every day, on a sticky note. I even made my little goal. It says you're going to finish your bodybuilding show. I made it the background wallpaper on my phone, because on the hard days when you're tired and if you're overwhelmed or even uninspired, remembering your reason for starting in general will be so much more helpful. And I will say this, even if you're considered a pro for whatever you've been doing, or even if you've been doing something for a while, you still get burnt out. You still get uninspired. I mean, I've seen professional athletes, musicians, artists get into that rut, that creative rut, and it's really, really hard to get out of it sometimes. It might take years, and that's okay, because, life happens, things happen. But when you start your journey, if it's something that's really meaningful to you, don't give up on it. Remember your why. For me, I'll share my why. Um, I'll share my gym and fitness why. I think my college why is just because I wanted to better my education. I had an opportunity to go back to school, and I wanted to learn more and hopefully expand on my career, and I accomplished all of that. So that's my why for college, which is pretty self-explanatory. It's not really like, I was a first generation college student. Like, I wish I had more of an inspiring story for starting in college. I just wanted to go to college. I just wanted to try it, and I fell in love with it. So I stayed for almost 10 years. But for my reason for my gym why, that's actually more impactful. So I was in high school. I was on the girls' golf team. I was also in marching band in high school. Shout out Drumline. Yes, I was in Drumline. And I'm a big, creative musician kind of person. My dad is a band teacher, and like he's a musician. So I got burnt out I will say, from music a little bit, because I was so into it for 6, 7 years. So I wanted to try something new. So I went and did the girls' golf team. I liked doing something that was more athletic and different, and that was fun. I wasn't the best. It was just for fun. But I was decent at it, and then I started kind of getting more into fitness and doing more things like Pilates, yoga. I even went to jazzercise with my mom and her friends, and it was fun. I loved it. I just loved moving my body and being more kind of expressive that way. I did grow up as a little bit of a dancer. I did some dancing, like summer camps and stuff like that. So I always liked being active and physical. I would do bike riding and yoga. I would do that stuff throughout middle school and high school and stuff. But after high school, when I got to college, I really wanted to do something else. And I didn't have time to join many like clubs or intramural sports or anything until I decided to do powerlifting. And then I put myself into that. But that didn't just happen. I had to ease myself into the world of powerlifting. But I started in the world of bodybuilding. I wanted to be a bodybuilder until I realized that I needed to put on more muscle mass, take my time. As a little natty bodybuilder girl that I am, you really do need to take your time. It is diet and consistency. That's it, man. That's so it. I mean, I could say I do take a lot of supplements. I do take creatine, electrolytes, multivitamin, fish oil. Supplements are going to be my next podcast episode, by the way. I'm going to make that one really awesome. But the reason I started really getting active again is because I did hear, when you go to college, you're going to put on the freshman 15. And I was like, what is that? Also at that younger age, I didn't have any like body dysmorphia. I did not hate my body or anything like that. I was always really, I loved my body. I've always had really good body positivity with myself, but I wanted to work harder. Once I started doing P90X, I started seeing more muscle mass, and I was like, wow, this works. And I was like 17, 18 when I started doing P90X. So when I got into the gym around like 19, I started taking it super seriously. I got strong fast. and I fell in love with it. It was just something that I enjoyed doing, and I just wanted to do it. And then I realized that it supports your metabolism and your hormones, your metabolic health, as well as your bone health and just all facets of life. Strength and conditioning is so important. So I fell in love with it, and it just became my medium as well as art. I was the artsy power lifter in college. That's why I'm powerful hippie. So that's my why for starting my fitness journey. And it's been 11 years, and I have transitioned into different things. I've tried more powerlifting, more bodybuilding, more plyometric, like full body exercises as well, jump training and cardio, up and down stairs. Like I've tried a lot of it, but I've always gone back to like bodybuilding movements and hypertrophy and just various options for your body. So that's where I am right now. And that kind of goes into number two, which is my tip number two, building a routine. So I pulled this from our friend Arnold Schwarzenegger. He said, when motivation fails, routine will win. So Arnold is a big believer in having a routine. And if you look back at his timeline of his life, he was like a bodybuilder and then an actor and then an activist and politician. And his life has been in so many different stages, which is so cool because he's done so many different amazing things. He did not even have to go into politics, and he did, which, like good on him. He has a big passion for the United States and helping our world, which is awesome. So if it works for Arnold, it's gonna work for me, man. And when you have a routine, I will say starting is the hardest part, but keeping up with it is just as important. Okay. So start by following it for a day, and then that day can turn into a week. And that week one can turn into month one. And then after a month, you got to keep going. And this will remind you of the importance of building that base so that you can master the basics, because that's all a routine is, mastering the basics. And that will help make up for so much and help you declutter your brain and help decrease the time and energy, anxiety. We all go through those, like, when am I going to get this done? When am I going to get this done? I don't have much time, blah, blah, blah. Well, if you have a routine, if you're like, oh no, I'm going to do cardio on this day, this day, this day, just follow it. Just follow it. Just don't even think about it. Just do it. And then when you have that routine, if stuff comes up, but you still did the practice and the routine, you won't feel as stressed. You won't feel as overwhelmed. It'll help you with your time management. I will tell you really fast too, even though I was working full time, I had a full-time job. I was working 40, 50 hours a week, and I was in graduate school. I am grateful for that because once I was finished with my master's degree, I felt like I had all the time in the world. Like, nothing, probably besides having a baby and having a child, but nothing will remind you how important time management and how lucky you are to have time will be unless you have worked a full-time job and finished a degree, because you have to have critical time management skills. But once you're free with your degree and you're like Dobby and you're a free elf, you will have had those good practices, but you'll also be like, wow, I have so much time. It's important to still remember to manage that time, though. Don't just sit on the couch all the time. Definitely take breaks. Obviously, do what you want in your free time, but make sure you use that well, right? Now, my tip number 3, besides having a routine, that's so important, but on the other end of the spectrum, if you have a routine for too long and you're bored or you're uninspired, it's time to mix it up, baby. All right. So think about your reason, again, for starting, but then see how you can change it to make it maybe more fun or interesting and something that you can do that might reignite that flame, reignite that why, right? Look for advice, maybe work with professionals to support you because you are not alone. So maybe like a personal trainer or hire a coach. I hired a bodybuilding coach this time just because I wanted to make sure I had someone in my corner, someone I can ask questions to. I didn't want to do the whole chat GPT thing, which I've seen bodybuilders do. I don't know how successful that is. Maybe if it's like your 4th time competing in a bodybuilding competition, but I would not recommend that for your first one, or if you're a powerlifter, because a lot can go wrong and it's in your hands. So again, when you're not feeling very inspired, it's all you, which is fine, but it's better to have someone sometimes in your corner, especially a professional that knows more, because I don't know everything. So I need to keep learning. That's why I hired a coach. Even though I'm also a coach, it's different. Bodybuilding is just a different sport. It's not periodization. It's so much diet and conditioning with your cardio. There's a lot that goes into it, man. So again, tweak and innovate is my tip number 3. Challenge yourself to try new things. It's okay if you fail, keep going. You got to grow through the pain to get to the gain. I need that on a shirt. I don't know who said that, but I need that on a shirt because I have grown through pain. No, I'm not in pain all the time, but you do have to be in discomfort or that uncomfortability of trying new things and feeling like a new person again. That's how I am with bodybuilding, kind of, because I've been so out of bodybuilding world for like 5-10 years that getting back into it, I felt like a lost little lamb. Like, oh my gosh, where do I start? What do I do? Do I weigh my food? Like, I had so many questions. I felt so silly, but it's okay. When you are new, that just means you're trying, and that just means you're going to get closer to whatever goal it is. Amen. All right, tip number 4, and this is what I tell my college students. By the way, as an instructor, as an academic advisor, I have heard all the things, all the reasons that can cause demotivation, whether that be a job issue, a house issue, a money issue, family issue, literal like natural disaster, earthquake, fire, all the issues. They are all scary, frustrating, and they can cause a lot of chaos in your life. So I have heard all of the reasons, and they're not excuses, they're reasons, right? But they can cause you to get thrown off a lot. However, number 4, if you have a support system, that can really help you. So I tell everybody, please have a support system. All right, tell your friends, tell your family. If you have a significant other, tell them, right? You have to help yourself by letting other people help you. Sometimes I will say one of my biggest problems is asking for help. But I know it's important, right? And it's more important when you have someone in your corner who's asking you questions, because that'll reignite the flame and it'll remind you that you're not alone and people do care about you and people do want to help you accomplish things. So when you accomplish them, you'll make yourself proud, you'll make your friends and family proud. It'll be a moment where you can all come together and realize that it took a village, and it really does. When I hired my posing coach, I was like, wow, I'm so glad we've had these conversations and you've spoken with me about all these questions that I had about posing, because that's my like weakness, I will say, in bodybuilding is posing, because it's uncomfortable and it takes time to learn everything. And I was like, it really does take a village, because I have multiple coaches, multiple people telling me things, looking at my body, critiquing my body, which can be kind of scary, but that's what it is. That's bodybuilding, critiquing your body. And it's important to have a support system. I like it personally because I'm extrinsically motivated. So if I have a little outside pressure, I feel like I have to not people please them, but I have to show them that I'm not lying, right? It's important to prove that you can talk and walk. So walk the walk, talk the talk, right? And it's funny because sometimes I'll be in the gym and everybody does this. Everybody has people they know at the gym because they see them all the time and you might talk to somebody at the gym, you might know their name, but you don't really know like their backstory. But we always talk. I have some friends at the gym. I've had some casual conversations and they know that I'm in bodybuilding prep. So they're asking, hey, when's your show? How many weeks out are you? How are you feeling? How's your food? How's your cardio? Like, it actually really inspires me because it means that they care. And they're kind of like partial strangers to me, but they care because they see me there. When they don't see me at the gym, they're like, where's Haley? Which is nice because it means that they care. And it just means that, you're not alone. So the gym is super supportive as well. Tip number 5. This is so important. This is really important, especially if you are in college, because it's so easy to say, I give up. I want to quit. I don't need this degree anymore. AI is doing all the things. This is pointless. No. That's why you got to go back to number 1, which is find your why, right? But my tip number 5 is take breaks. Don't quit. Okay. When I was in college, there was a term, like a semester when I was going through some stuff and I was just burnt out, work and school and family and house, this. When you're a working adult, you got a lot of stuff going on. And I was so tired. So I took a term off. I took a semester off. My academic advisor and I talked about it. It was all good. Everything worked out. And I didn't quit. I finished my degree. But if I hadn't had that time off just to kind of rest, breathe, maybe I wouldn't have been able to keep going. So, again, you need to take breaks. Everybody needs to take breaks. And if you're tired, remind yourself that is totally normal. I'm tired right now, kind of. I actually am deciding to take today as my rest day because I don't want to push it. I low key tweaked my knee last week by accidentally twisting wrong or incorrectly, I should say, on the leg curl machine. I accidentally pulled my leg. As I was trying to get out of the little leg curl, when you push the pad down, and I was in a rush. So that was my bad. Slow down. It's really important in the gym, especially. But I knew this week if I pushed myself too hard, it might not heal or I might make it worse. Either way is not a good situation. So again, it's okay to need a break. And I'm calling myself out on this one. Please acknowledge your feelings. It's okay to have feelings. We are not robots at all. All right. Ask yourself maybe why you're feeling this way and take some rest. Do something for yourself that's maybe more enjoyable, like taking a day off from work, going shopping, going on a nature walk, meditating, reading a book. Getting better sleep is really important. Sleep is literal rest. You need sleep to nourish your brain and your body. Taking care of your mental and physical health is so important. So spend some time with yourself and rest, okay? This really does apply, especially if you have a chronic illness or injury. Please don't push it, y'all. Take me as an example. Knock on wood, right here. I've never had an injury or anything that didn't heal that wasn't just like a silly little thing, right? Because I learned to rest, not to quit. Even though I didn't want to rest. But then I'll find other things and other avenues and things I can do. Maybe make art or clean or decorate or write or garden. This is why it's really important to be a well-rounded human being. Be a hippie. Be artsy fartsy. Grow your own vegetables. Write your own cookbooks. Be crazy like me. Do all the things. But it's important to mix it up, to take rest, to do something for yourself that doesn't feel like you're forcing yourself, something that you enjoy doing, because at the other end of the spectrum, if you are just having fun all the time, but you're not really working hard, you're going to be like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing with my life. So it's really important to have that balance, have a goal, work toward it, but also take breaks. So you got to find that balance for you. Everybody's different. For me, I would say I like to have a goal that I can work on really hard, like 70% of the time. So that's bodybuilding, because that's a lot of time with weighing food and cooking and organizing and gym and cardio, all that jazz, right? So that's 70% of my life right now. The other 30% though is spending time with my dog, my husband, organizing the house, friends, family, art, garden, looking for shark's teeth. So, again, resting is the necessary thing, and that's a beautiful, beautiful thing. If you need help resting or taking a break, I really encourage you to work with a therapist or mental health counselor and maybe learn other ways to cope with whatever you're going through so that you can turn off your brain and try to relax more and calm down. Take a deep breath, relax your central nervous system, relax your peripheral nervous system, help your body, help your digestion, helps your sleep, helps your hormones. It's all very important. If you're in fight or flight all the time, it's gonna manifest. You're gonna have anxiety, you're gonna have physical issues, whether it be digestion or something else. Don't go there. I've been there, ain't fun. So do whatever you can to mitigate that. And my last tip, which I think is the most motivating for me, actually, is sometimes when I feel like I'm in a rut, that's when I realize, all right, it's okay. I don't know everything right now, but that just means that I need to learn more. And you have to be so okay with getting out of your comfort zone and not being lazy and learning more. I preach this, man. Read books, listen to podcasts, get certifications, take classes. Besides finding your why or your logical reasoning for starting whatever journey you want, and especially in fitness, if you're in a rut or just need some guidance, please do ask for help or at least do your own research. Be your own advocate. This sounds so simple, but there is always more to learn in whatever field you're in or whatever passion, project, or goal that you have. Even if you're already a pro, like a pro athlete, or even if you're like the best artist, right, and super high level, there are still other people out there who specialize in something or know more or have a different framework or something that you can learn from. I love LinkedIn Learning videos and TED Talks. I think those are fantastic. Podcasts are free. This one's free and always will be, baby. It's on YouTube. And I just like connecting to other people and having fun listening to other people's perspectives. You know, other people, I think that's why I really like Joe Rogan, because he listens to other people, he engages with them, they have a lot of back and forth and banter, and it's more of an interesting perspective, getting to know somebody, interview kind of podcast. But I love that because I feel like people are raw and real and themselves, and you don't have to like put on, you know, an example of, oh, this is what I've done. It's just like, hey man, this is me. This is who I am. This is how I've been here. Man, I watched Joe Rogan back in the day on Fear Factor. I loved Fear Factor growing up. That was one of my favorite shows. And I was probably not supposed to be watching that show because I don't remember if it was like PG-13, but anyway, I digress. So again, look for more ways that you can learn, because learning is so important. You don't have to get another master's degree or a degree at all or a certification to learn. You can do your own research. I will say too, I understand why college is not for everybody. Besides the fact that it's expensive and time consuming, you really can be your own person and your own, you know, educator. Educate yourself, because education is free. We have access to so many things. I mean, I learned so much on social media. I don't really go on TikTok, but if I do, I learn stuff, or Instagram or Facebook videos, YouTube, right? Subscribe to people that you feel like you can connect with as well. I feel like would be really important, because then you'll have that like, oh, this person has been through stuff, but they know these things because they've been through it, and they have these degrees or certifications or experience, right? So I would say Dr. Jolene Brighten, she's awesome. She's a women's specialist in hormones. And then also Dr. Mark Hyman, he's also a metabolic and holistic practitioner and specialist. I feel like those two people are people that I love. But then like there's, you know, I just love listening and learning from everybody, because I think you can always learn something from someone. Even if you don't agree with their frameworks or ideologies or even their politics, I think you can still learn something from someone. Don't be so dogmatic in your own brain that you can't learn more. You have to be open-minded. Don't be closed-minded. That's really important in life too. So those are my 6 tips right now for motivation. If I left something out of those, just let me know, and maybe I can talk about it and expand on this, because motivation is so fleeting. It comes and goes, but it's really important, and it is kind of the epicenter of why I'm doing this bodybuilding journey, because I'm motivated. Right now is the time of my life. Again, I don't have kids. I do have a puppy, but she's cool now, man. She's finally like her own little person. So I'm doing this for me, because I know this is the time in my life that maybe the only time that I'll have in my life to really devote to myself and be selfish and do something for me, which is so cool. So baby, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it all the way. 8 weeks out. And as always, if you found today's episode helpful, again, please be sure to like and subscribe on my YouTube channel, because it really supports me and this podcast. Again, I'm also under Spotify. I'm the Powerful Pod, and you can follow me on Instagram. I'm at Powerful Hippie, and I will include all of those links below, along with my Redcon1 discount code. Thank you so much for tuning in. I am so proud of you for taking the first step in whichever this new journey may be. And I just want you to know that you are awesome and you are powerful. Bye, y'all.